Welcome. It's not all about having photographs. Sometimes you need to have the basics if you want to be in the lifestyle. But what exactly is that? Well, first of all, it means living in a rural area, which means you need a car to start with. Otherwise, how would you get there? And then the bigger your garden, the better. Also, try to be as close to the forest as possible. So all this will be isolated. But it's the least you can do to get those country vibes, right? Personally, I prefer places where it snows a lot. So near or in the mountains and preferably in the north. Imagine the superb photographs in the snow. Also, the more severe the snow, the better it is, so that's a good reason not to go too far south. You also need at least a house because an apartment is not very close, and a house on the street is also too far from nature. In fact, the closest urban area to your house should be a fairly small area that has retained its medieval appearance. It would be nice to go shopping, wouldn't it? You should have a well in your garden. It's pretty but also practical if you need water, even in difficult times. You also need a vegetable garden so that you can be ready for the rainy season. What should the house itself look like? Try something that's at least 100 years old, otherwise it won't have the charm of the old walls. Half-timbered walls will certainly look nice, as will a thatched roof or, at most, slate. Wooden shutters are preferable to plastic blinds. And of course, wooden shutters with a heart-shaped hole in the center are so pretty. Having one or more fireplaces is a must. What about your entrance hall? Well, this is the first room you see when you arrive, so you might as well take care of it. You should have a coat rack and a coat hanger, and always have them there, even if it's not summer. A straw hat with a ribbon around it. Also, your rubber boots underneath, and plan an umbrella stand too. Flowers in a vase, a rotten fart, a mirror and a rug are also important to have. The walls can have a vintage pattern, for example wallpaper that looks like toile de Joey in the hallways. Your doors and their handles will look better like this than like this. The kitchen is an essential room that will look better with beams. In fact, you should have them in every room. Warm washed walls are the prettiest, and preferably in yellow or even green. On the floor, it's ideal to have old tomatoes, but definitely not brand new ones. The sink will look its best if it's made of siding or stone. Also an old-fashioned faucet, the kind that doesn't have a mixer yet. Use a wooden brush and a bar of soap to wash your dishes. There's a chimney or a hair, keep them even if they're clogged. This will be the ideal place to put your stove. You should also consider placing your air vent under the mantelpiece. Obviously, a coal stove isn't very practical to have these days. But if you have to have one, don't throw it away. During a power outage, for example, you could still use it for cooking. You may not have room for a stove, but in that case, your gas stove with electric stove should look like a coal model. There are many vintage-looking stoves for sale. If you don't have a stove, then get a vintage-looking oven and freestanding electric hot plates.
N'oubliez pas d'ajouter un plan de travail
Don't
et
forget
aussi
to
de la
add a
table
worktop, and if there's
d'adaptation.
no cupboard underneath, add a floral
Ajoutez
or checkered curtain in
toujours
front to hide things like
après
the
avoir
trash
fermé
can.
devant, cachez éventuellement des choses comme la poubelle. Pour
For your
vos
short
rideaux tout
curtains,
court,
you can also use this type of
utilisez ce type
fabric.
de tissu. Le réfrigérateur et le lave-vaisselle peuvent être intégrés
The
et
refrigerator and
ressemblent
dishwasher
à
can
des
be built in and look like cupboards,
ou
or
bien
they can
être
be
d'aspect
vintage-looking, like 1950s appliances.
du style électroménager des années 1950. Et si vous ne
And
pouvez pas
if you
faire tout
can't do
ça,
all that, then hide them
passez aussi
behind a
par là.
curtain.
Pour ce qui est des placards
As
en
for the
eux-mêmes,
cupboards themselves,
tiroirs
drawers and
et les
sideboards,
buffets,
they should also
c'est
look
devenu aussi
vintage.
simple. Surtout,
Above
n'utilisez pas
all,
de forme
don't use
bizarre
Formica or IKEA
ou
furniture.
même Ikea. La source principale
The main
pour vos
source for
meubles
your furniture
et
and
vos
objects in
couvertures
general
murailles
should be the flea market and the
devrait
second
être
bathroom.
adapté aux puces et la seconde main. Placez au mur autant d'étagères que vous le pouvez
Put as many shelves on the wall
et
as you can
ajoutez
and
des
have an
verres
open sideboard too, so
afin
that you can
d'exposer
display the prettiest
vos plus
utensils on it.
jolies ustensiles dessus. Les théières, les tasses, de préférence anciennes, un mug ou
Cups,
des écrits
mugs,
des
preferably
testimonies,
old ones, not a mug with the
des
words,
capes
"You hate Mondays," written on it,
ou
tea or egg
des
cup covers, and metal boxes should brighten up the place.
et les boîtes en métal devraient orner le mur. Essayez des motifs clairs
Try classic patterns
pour
for
vos
your tea
torchons
towels
de
and pot holders, such as checks,
comme
flowers, or farm animals.
fleurs ou les animaux de ferme. L'étagère choix
Plate drying racks can also be used to display ordinary plates and other
de trésors
dishes.
pour les bêtements de
Collector's versions can be displayed on the wall
disponibles
since they are not used every day.
on ne s'en sert pas tous les jours. Il suffit d'avoir une
Also try
horloge
having a
devant
grandmother's clock
vous,
on the wall, or even
une
better,
montre
a Swiss cuckoo clock.
un séchoir à assiette,
Plate
eux,
drying racks look better
un
in
meilleur
wood than in
allure
metal.
en bois qu'en métal. Prenez votre ustensile en bois, comme
Take
votre
your wooden
rouleau à
utensils
pâtisserie,
like your rolling pin, mallet,
votre
spatula,
maillet,
etc.
tube, etc.
Preferably choose wooden ones,
Préférence en
and
bois.
place them or hang them under a shelf in a prominent
Placez-les,
place.
suspendez-les sous une étagère. Ainsi, exposez tous ces ustensiles
You can also
prêts à
display all
souvenir
those
sont tellement
utensils that
jolis.
you don't use every day
À vos
but that are
coupées,
so
des bouts de
pretty, such as
décoration,
a whisk, decorative molds,
des pots
enamel
en céramique,
dishes, copper
des
saucepans,
casseroles
a
en
mortar,
cuivre,
bread and
un
salt
mortier,
boxes, basins,
des
frying
boîtes
pans,
à
and
pain
so
et
on.
à sel, les bassins, les poêlés, etc. Vous pouvez aussi avoir une bouilloire
You can also
cuivre,
have a copper kettle
cette fois
because,
encore,
once again,
façon
they are
très
very pretty and can be used in the event of a power cut.
en cas de panne d'électricité. Votre
Your
bouilloire
electric
métallique
kettle L should be metallic and
devrait être
vintage looking.
métallique et d'aspect vintage. Pour la même raison, vous
For the
pouvez
same
disposer
reason, you can display a coffee grinder with a crank.
à des points ouverts. Également
Also, old
électroménager,
keys, even if they don't open anything.
des paniers
Baskets, oil
à
lamps.
pétrole qui peuvent être utilisés
They can be
d'ailleurs
used instead
plutôt
of
que de
candles
bougies
in the event of a
en
power
cas de
cut.
panne d'électricité.
As for your table,
Toujours
remember
des
that it should be
couvertures bois,
wooden and old.
les
The same
fauteuils
goes for the chairs, which can also be
à
mismatched.
des assortis. Ajoutez un
Add a bench and don't forget the flowers in a
fleurs dans
vase.
la
The
poubelle,
trash can,
les
if it is
cubes,
visible,
vous
should be
ajouterez
made
des
of
pieds
steel or
et de
zinc.
nez.
The ceiling light should be a
La
model that
boîte
resembles those
stéropale
that used to
aspect
run on
qui
oil.
était tapissée. Fleurs, des plantes
Pick flowers,
aromatiques
medicinal and
et
aromatic plants
laissez-les
and let them
sécher
dry hanging from your
tendues
beams.
à vos tours. Ajoutez-y des
Add some
tresses
onion,
d'oignons,
garlic, and
d'ail
chili
et
peppers.
de piment. Mettez les pâtes, farine,
Put pasta,
ajoutez
flour,
le
tea, coffee, and cereals in glass
mettez beaucoup
jars
de
or
beurre.
somewhere else. You probably already
Ou
have
avec
them
une
if you buy
fontaine
them
à
in
beurre,
bulk.
si vous les trouvez. Sinon, mettez-les dans
Otherwise, put them in jars anyway because they look prettier than the original
que les
packages.
paquets d'origine.
And it also prevents you from being invaded by boarders once the packages are opened.
Si vous faites des confitures,
If you make
Donc
jams and preserves in jars, you can also display them.
vous pouvez les exposer. Après des matelots de tissu,
Place fabric or lace placemats on the lids before tying them with ribbon or braid.
ou un galop. Avec des
Have a
poids
scale with copper weights, so traditional, even if you use a modern model, in which case you will have to hide it in a cupboard. Insil can be a very valuable extension of your kitchen. Keep the jars I mentioned before, dried herbs, grains, fruits, and vegetables. That can give you a supply for months.